All right, today we're talking about chemotherapy. We often think of it as this one single brutal treatment, but it's really more like a strategic arsenal, right? A whole collection of powerful drugs designed to fight a war on a cellular level. So how in the world does it actually work?
And that's really the million-dollar question, isn't it? I mean, think about it. Your body has trillions of cells. Some are healthy, some are cancerous. How do you design a weapon that knows which one to attack? This challenge, it's at the very heart of understanding chemo, both its incredible power and, yeah, its famous side effects.
Okay, so here's our game plan. First up, we're going to look at the battlefield itself, the cancer cell's life cycle. Then we'll get into why chemo is such a double-edged sword. After that, we'll check out the main weapons in its arsenal, meet the support crew of other drugs, and finally, we'll look ahead to the new wave of treatments that are totally changing the game. Let's get into it. All right, first things first. To get the strategy, you've got to understand the battlefield. This whole fight, it's happening at the cellular level. Specifically, it all comes down to the process of a cell making a copy of itself. So every cell in your body, healthy or not, goes through this basic four-step dance. Grow, copy the DNA, get ready, and then split. But here's the thing with cancer cells. They are just obsessed with this cycle. They're stuck in overdrive, dividing like crazy, way faster than most of our normal cells. And that speed, which seems like their biggest strength, is actually their greatest weakness. It's the exact vulnerability that chemotherapy is designed to exploit. And that strategy, targeting cells that divide super fast, that brings us right to the core of what chemotherapy is. And you guessed it, the reason for all those tough side effects. It's a brilliant approach, but it definitely comes with some serious consequences. This right here just lays it all out. See, chemo drugs aren't super smart. They can't actually tell the difference between a cancer cell and a healthy cell. Nope. They're looking for just one thing, a cell that's dividing quickly. So yeah, they go after the fast-growing cancer cells, but they also hit our healthy fast-growing cells. Think hair follicles, the lining of your stomach. That's where the side effects come from. But here's the crucial difference, and this is so important. Healthy cells, they can recover over time. Those mutated cancer cells, they usually can't.
And this quote from the American Cancer Society just hits the nail on the head. It's all about trying to find a balance between killing the cancer cells and sparing the normal cells. Every single dose is this calculated risk, this incredible balancing act. The whole goal is just to tip that balance enough to wipe out the cancer while giving the healthy cells a fighting chance to bounce back. So, how does chemo actually do the attacking? Well, it's not just one thing. It's a whole arsenal. Let's open up the toolkit and look at the different classes of weapons and their really unique strategies for stopping cancer cells dead in their tracks. First up, you've got the alkylating agents, okay? Think of these guys as the saboteurs. They sneak inside the cell and go straight for the DNA blueprint. They basically scramble the instructions. And if a cell can't read its own manual, well, it can't make a copy of itself. Mission aborted. Next in the lineup are the anti-metabolites. Their whole strategy is pure deception. They disguise themselves as the normal, legit building blocks a cell needs to make new DNA. The cancer cell, in its rush, grabs these fakes and tries to plug them into the assembly line. And bam, the whole system gets jammed. Production just grinds to a complete halt. Okay, now when you see the word antibiotics, don't think of what you take for a sore throat. These are totally different. Anti-tumor antibiotics are seriously powerful drugs. They work by messing with the enzymes, these tiny molecular machines that are absolutely essential for copying DNA. By blocking those little machines, they make it impossible for the cell to replicate its blueprint. And finally, we have the mitotic inhibitors. So if the other drugs attack the blueprint phase, these guys go after the final act, the physical division. They interfere with the internal scaffolding a cell needs to literally pull itself apart into two new daughter cells. It's like the cell runs a whole marathon, gets right to the finish line, but is physically blocked from ever crossing it. But these main attack drugs don't go into battle alone. Not at all. They have a really vital support crew working right alongside them, making the treatment more effective and, frankly, more manageable. And a real star player on the support crew? Corticosteroids. I mean, these things are incredibly versatile. For some cancers, like certain lymphomas and leukemias, they can actually kill cancer cells directly. But they're also a go-to for managing the side effects from other chemo drugs, helping prevent nausea or serious allergic reactions. They are a true multi-tool and an oncologist's toolkit. For decades, the strategies we've just talked about, that was the foundation of cancer treatment.
But right now, we are in the middle of an absolute revolution, a shift towards smarter, way more precise ways to fight this disease. And this line just shows that shift perfectly. Traditional chemo, that's a broad attack. Its strategy is to overwhelm and destroy any fast-dividing cell in its path. But this new wave of therapies, they're precise. Their strategy is to outsmart and disable cancer cells specifically while leaving the normal cells alone. It's literally the difference between a carpet bomb and a laser-guided missile. So one of these new strategies is called targeted therapy. These drugs are designed like a key that fits a very specific lock, a lock that only exists on certain cancer cells. They find these unique proteins or receptors, latch on, and shut the cell down, all without bothering the healthy cells right next door.
And then you have immunotherapy, which is a completely different playbook. Instead of a drug directly killing the cancer, immunotherapy uses drugs to unleash your body's own immune system to do the job. It's amazing. It basically takes the brakes off your immune cells, letting them finally recognize and attack the cancer cells that were hiding in plain sight. So when you step back and look at it, what we've seen is this incredible evolution. We've gone from just attacking any fast-growing cell to specifically targeting cancer's unique weaknesses, and now even empowering our own bodies to join the fight. And that leaves us with a really hopeful question for the future. As our strategies get smarter and more precise, are we getting closer to a day when we can win the war on cancer without all the collateral damage?